What's up everyone, Dan Palacios of Kinetic Training here. Today we're going to be going through a simulated stress tactical athlete training circuit, meaning that we're going to be integrating some traditional strength conditioning movements, some non-traditional strength conditioning movements, including some specialized tools that are more appropriate for a tactical athlete, law enforcement, military type personnel. We want to make sure that our workout is conducive to the activity that they actually achieve during their work, during an actual engagement. So we're going to be keeping the heart rate high, we're going to be stressing the entire system, and we have to see if we can maintain quality in our specific movements, in our specific skills, despite the fact that the heart rate is high and the stress level has been induced. So some of the different tools we'll be using here, we've got the A-unit Powergrip bar with the gut wrench for some simplified but high quality complex patterns. The Bamf Cut Cube that we'll be using for our blade training and our blade work. Here I've got my Smith & Wesson MP40 Firearm with the dry fire mag and integrated Mantis X system. We'll be using this to check our shot quality using a dry fire modality, meaning there's going to be no live rounds, but it will check out exactly what it is we're doing. We'll use the new Hypervolt Bluetooth system to apply our Reflexive performance reset central nervous system drills. Be wearing the breath belt the entire time to tax our diaphragmatic breathing complexes, and we're going to be getting that heart rate up using the Bamf hammer, long handled hammer, to run a breach technique. We've got the VOG tack bag here, the sand bag, which gives us an unstable odd object loading opportunity. And then we've got the Vectorball here, which gives us randomized information processing. So that's really helpful for inducing the type of response that needs to be seen for a tactical athlete. So to kick it off here, we're going to hit our RPR drills utilizing the Bluetooth Hypervolt. I'm running the system on my phone, and that's giving me feedback on exactly how much pressure I'm applying in each of these central nervous system wake-up drills. I'm going to hit my breathing complex first, as well as the diaphragm. Wake the diaphragm up, getting just under the rib cage there. Go to the psoas, apply pressure to the intra-abdominal walls using the Hypervolt here. Then we're going to wake up the glutes by rubbing the back side of the skull and the back side of the jaw. Stimulate some of that firing up response, that engagement response from the glutes, as well as chest and shoulders, which we're definitely going to be using within the next few minutes here. Our lats. And already I can feel these sort of goosebumps popping up, and that's from the stimulation response that this creates. So that's an important factor to remember, that we're not just mashing the heck out of the muscles here, we're stimulating the central nervous system so that it wakes up and we can attack the drill. This is a great deployable modality that we can utilize between sets while we're recovering to make sure that we're getting the best out of each effort. All right, here we go. So the workout's going to get started here. It's going to be a light first warm-up. I'm going to strap in the breath belt, get loaded up, take a few breaths to belly breathe, pushing out and resisting against the breath belt here. This is giving me great feedback to keep my core aligned, resist my diaphragm when this intensity gets really high. It's going to make it a lot harder to do this type of work when you have this elastic resistance around here, but it's also creating a nice lengthening response. Okay, that's something to remember when you're using something like the breath belt or any feedback driven product to enhance the training, is that you have to tap into the feedback that's actually being applied. This isn't about creating quote unquote support. This is creating sensory feedback that teaches me to support myself using diaphragmatic breathing, proper torso contraction during and after and before movement, and then keeping my glutes engaged throughout. All right, so we're going to engage the Mantis X system with the dry fire mag integration. Starting the system now. We're going to engage the firearm, make sure we're properly aligned, putting on sights. And you'll see what's really cool about this system is that it's giving you a shot score. With every shot, it's telling you exactly what you're doing based on what the gyroscope feels with each shot. If these factors aren't under control before you start firing a firearm, then your shots are definitely going to be off. I've seen this on the live range and definitely know what happens when your shots are properly aligned from the get-go. So you see here we've got a great baseline. Our average score was 91 starting out. Now we're going to get our heart rate up, see if we can come back and maintain that average and keep it strong throughout the entire training bout. All right, so after the first round, you can see there was actually a significant drop off in my dry fire skill. I wasn't able to maintain that level of steadiness that we'd like to see from the baseline. We went from a 91 score to about an 82 average over those shots. So it's really important that we now key into that for our second round and make sure we see some improvement the next time we come around. That was a high intensity circuit, including a lot of full body, traditional strength conditioning movements from the landmine, as well as breach movements utilizing the Bamf hammer, and then going into more weaponized, more deployable type movements like the dry fire mag, as well as the knife training using the Bamf Cube over there. So we want to make sure that we apply that consistently and start to see some noticeable change in improvement throughout our strength conditioning protocols and throughout a program. Make sure to stay tuned for more tactical athlete training information here on Kinetic Training. We'll see you next time. Live kinetically.